Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. It is election day here in Texas for the primaries. So if you haven't gotten out and vote yet, make sure you vote. I was voted early voting, and I'll give you advice my mom used to give. She said, if you don't vote, you don't get a complaint. But complain was not the exact word she used, but you can probably know what word she did use. So, a story behind that, my grandfather, when he was in his 70s, he lived with us, and he and my mom were not affiliated with the same political party. One of them was Republican, one of them was Democratic. And during the election of Clinton and Bush, the presidential election in November, my mom had told my grandfather that if he didn't vote this year, he was not going to be able to complain about the results. And so my mom went out and voted. And that day, my grandfather, my grandpa Jake, actually went and voted as well. He came home and he said to my mom, well, I just canceled your vote. But it's so funny. And I agree with that story of if you want to complain about what happens in the election, however, you don't vote, you really don't get a say. It is our civic duty and a right to vote. It is how our voice is heard. So make sure, whatever side of the line you're on, go out and vote. I'm not going to make this political, but I do think it's important. And I also think it's beautiful that we have different people running for elections. We have Republicans, we have Democrats, we have independents, right? And if we were all the same and had all the same views, well, that doesn't really work in a democracy. We have a republic, we have a democracy, and that's what makes it so beautiful, is that we don't see eye to eye on every single thing. And it's because we all come to this world with different viewpoints, different upbringings. And so instead of getting mad that someone doesn't like your candidate or not going to vote for someone, just tell them you canceled their vote and just embrace them for who they are. That's what makes this country work. And so, not to get off on a political rant, but I just thought I wanted to share that with you. What I really came to share and talk about was this little stack of cards. I posted it on my Finding Joy in the Journey the other day. My sister came and gave me these cards. The first one was I Choose Joy, which was perfect for me. But I absolutely love today. I'm pulling out a new one every single day. And here it is. Hopefully you can read that. It says, you don't have to be perfect to be amazing. You don't have to be perfect to be amazing. How cool is that? And how correct is that? Right? How many times in our lives do we think we have to be perfect? We have to say the perfect thing. We have to look the perfect way. We have to play the part and be perfect, the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect business person. And you know what? Perfection, that's not the goal. What I believe the goal is authenticity. To be authentic, be yourself. That's so important in today's age. People don't buy the perfect you, they buy the authentic and real you. So stop trying to be perfect and just be the amazing person that you are. I absolutely love that. So just go out and be that amazing person you are. And this got me thinking about how do ways we become more amazing. And part of that's personal development. It's growing new habits. It's starting new things. And I was having a call with my team last night, and we were talking about picking up new habits. And as you do that, picking up one at a time, not going in all in and saying, I'm going to try to do all 5 of these things at once. And so one of the new habits that I've recently picked up is meditation, right? Spending 10 minutes a day meditating. Now, do I do it every day? Almost. I haven't gotten into complete habit yet, though 5-6 days out of the week, I am sitting down, I'm meditating for 10 minutes. My mind goes crazy. I thinking some of you can relate with that, but it's really learning to meditate and slow down. And as they say in meditation, if you say you don't have time to meditate, you need it even more. And so that's bringing balance, it's bringing clarity, it's bringing more joy into my life. Another recent habit that just started a week ago after I had some blood test run is adding more water into my life. And so I've got my Yeti every day. I actually fill 2 pitchers with how much water I'm drinking. And the goal at the end of the day is for those pitchers to be empty before I go to bed. Now, here's my little trick. I used to always put ice in my glass. No more. Ice creates more water. I can barely get through what I'm drinking. And so no more ice. It goes in the refrigerator, keeps it cool, and then the Yeti keeps it cool. A little bit of lemon is helping. But what are those habits that you want to incorporate into your life? Would love for you to list some of them down below. And start that, right? And even if you stop, because sometimes life gets in a way, and like meditation, I realized last week, 2 days in a row, I didn't meditate. Well, guess what? I just started again once I realized I had dropped that habit. And so if you do drop something or miss it a day, don't let that be your deterrent off of not doing it again. Just get back on the wagon and get started. And as you gather one new habit, then you can add another and add another. And in my life, I have a whole list of a daily checklist of things that I want to do: personal development, drinking my water, exercise, meditation, different things in there. And then I've come down to what are my top 3 that if I'm traveling or the day goes crazy, what are the definite 3 I must do before I can go to bed? Because there are days that I don't get them all in. And they're a target list, right? A target, if you think about a target, if you shoot bow and arrow, your target, right? You want to get the bow and arrow in the target. You don't always hit the bullseye, but if you hit the target, you're doing well. And so that's my goal, is I always want to make sure I'm hitting the target, and most days hit the bullseye. And so what are those habits, and how can you implement them and keep yourself accountable? Because I think that's such a big piece in being amazing and creating yourself into that amazing, not perfect, but amazing self. Other thing that I was talking to him last night is about personal development. Recently heard Danelle Delgado speak at the Top Summit, and she said, put your personal development in to what you're already doing. So if you're already spending an hour getting ready in the morning, listen to a podcast, listen to an audio book. If you are out working out or at the gym or taking a walk, listen to your personal development during then. I still like to sit down and read. That's part of my personal development. But one of my goals was to go from 30 minutes to an hour. So in the mornings, as I get ready, I'm listening to podcasts. On the days that I'm in the car, I spend at least 30 minutes listening to audiobooks, and then I still try to get into my reading. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure I'm getting that hour in. And by adding the podcast and listening, while I'm getting ready, while I'm making breakfast, it's beautiful. I'm adding something to learn new without taking any extra time. So the last thing that I wanted to add in here are books. You guys know I'm an avid reader. I've actually finished 13 books already in the year. I don't know how that is happening. I'm not sure I'm going to finish that many when my husband Steve gets here. I do a lot of reading in the evenings right now. And so books, I guess 10, 11, and 12 for the year. Number 10 is a book called Shadow Divers by Robert Kurson. This was a book I did for fun. I am a scuba diver. When we were over in Bali last year, Scott recommended this book. It's a true story based on these divers finding a World War II U-boat from the Germans and trying to figure out what U-boat it was, and it was the whole story. And this wreck sat about 180 to 200 feet, which is super deep diving. I've never dove that deep. It's crazy. They did it on air, and that was when technical diving was first coming out. Don't think I will ever dive this U-boat, especially because it's in cold water. But the story was intriguing, and really enjoyed it. So if you like true stories based on history and kind of a mystery, this book might be for you. The second book, and I meant to grab it before I came, was Super Attractor by Gabrielle Bernstein. My friend Debbie gave me this book, and so I had a hard copy of it. And Super Attractor is all about attracting in your life what you want to attract. It's about channeling that energy, channeling the universe, God. She uses that interchangeably. It's asking for signs and then being given signs or not to tell you if you're on the right track. So if that's something you're interested in or intrigued with or want to learn more about, definitely highly would recommend Super Attractor by Gabrielle Bernstein. And then the last book that I've read is called Delay, Don't Deny by Jen Stevens. If you're looking into an intermittent fasting regime, health plan, this is a great book. I'm not doing intermittent fasting yet. I know some of you are going to be like, why not? Not quite there yet, but it was intriguing to read the book. I really liked how simply she put it. Plus, she referred to a lot of different diets she's done in her life, a lot of different diet books. Some of those diets I have done, and in fall of last year, I decided I would stop dieting. I would stop getting on the scale. I am eating differently now because of some health concerns, some blood work I just had done. Not a diet, but a way to get healthy. But if you are looking for a different diet plan or a healthy way to eat or lose some weight, check out Delay, Don't Deny by Jen Stevens. So anyway, happy Tuesday. Thanks for being here with me. It was great chatting with you. If you're in Texas, make sure to go vote. If you haven't, polls close, I think around 6:30 or 7. Don't quote me on that. You can look it up on the internet. Go find a new habit. Get it started. If you've got books you're reading this month, I would love to hear about them, especially if they're the ones you are liking. Comment below with the name, the author, and why you like it, because I'm always building my reading list. I love recommendations. And then don't forget, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be amazing. So go out and be your amazing self. Have a great day. Bye.